Pascal Siakam and the Raptors have made this series a little more interesting. The second game in a row, he's outscored Embiid 23-10 for Siakam in this one, as this series now shifts back to Toronto, where anything can happen.
Hey, no, not where anything can happen. Toronto's going to win it.
He knows what's going to happen.
Oh yeah, you're not going to win that. You're not going to win that game 6 in Toronto.
He's Isaiah Thomas. He's Steve Smith. I'm Kristen Ledlow. We're with you for all of your post-game coach and player press conferences, both from Boston and Brooklyn and from Toronto and Philly. So we'll be here for the next, well, probably several hours. Were you told about this in advance?
You said several hours?
See, this is why.
Several less.
What?
If you checked the emails, they tell us, like.
No, we supposed to leave after this game, right?
Mm-hmm. Leave and come right back in the studio.
We aren't. Yeah.
I thought we were through after this game.
Yeah,
Better grab a
You
snack.
go walk out there and come on back. Go get you some fresh air and sun, then you come on back.
Yeah, I think so.
The story of this game, though, Smitty, started defensively for the Raptors.
I mean, right now, the Raptors have gained more and more and more confidence. There's guys right now are looking, Isaiah and Christian, saying, I can beat that guy can't guard me, and I can guard that guy. We have to double team Joel Embiid, but he's making it easy for me. Doc Rivers, Joel Embiid, James Harden, he cannot post up outside the top of the key, outside the three-point line, because it's easy. Once I come double, you just kick it. I don't even have to worry about blocking him out because he doesn't dive. Joel Embiid got a layup, a foul, or anything you want inside the paint. This was the first half. Everything he did inside, it was easy, Kristen. Everything in the paint, he got a layup, a dunk. Easy dunk. And then in the second half, for some reason, he just started wanting to post up at the three-point line or at the top of the key. The double came and he passed it and he never dove. There's no way they're going to beat the Toronto Raptors if he keeps playing outside the paint.
And it's probably not fair that I mentioned that Pascal Siakam outscored Joel Embiid without mentioning that Precious Achiuwa outscored James Harden.
Yeah, I mean, I said this at halftime, and when I was watching the game, I said Toronto is playing like a team. And I see Philadelphia playing CYA basketball. I mean, they're just, you know, and when you look at the way they were playing, they weren't playing collectively. They were playing not to get blamed for anything. They weren't trying to win the basketball game. They were playing saying, hey, it's not my fault. It's somebody else's fault. Hey, I didn't make that dive. Somebody else make that dive. And when I look at Embiid, again, his ability to dominate inside. And at one point in time, you know, we was watching the game and we saw him outside at the hash mark asking for the ball. I mean, it was, you know, it was.
Look at those green marks inside, Z.
Yeah, I mean, he only had two shots in the paint. And I understand you're getting double teamed. But again, I come from an era where the best player, I come from an era where the best player got double teamed every night. But when you got double teamed, you still had to find a way to get yours. You just couldn't take yourself out of the game.
Which is concerning when you bring up CYA basketball. If that's your default in a closeout opportunity, the next two games are also closeout opportunities.
You're going to lose in Toronto. I don't see Philadelphia going to Toronto and winning a basketball game there. I don't see them having the collectiveness. Now, can they win a game 7 in Philadelphia with that fan base, with that crowd? Yes. However, if that crowd turns against them in Philadelphia, you know, they could lose a game 7 in Philly. But I see this series going 7 now for sure.
Goodness. We were looking at the graphic that kind of tells you the story of the game. When you look at the bench points, the Raptors outscored the Sixers 29-11. It's got to be also a bit concerning in regards to depth, right?
It is. I mean, Kristen, Isaiah, no matter where it comes down to, Joel Embiid has to get into the paint and dominate, because on that other end, they're spreading it out and they're just picking the Philadelphia 76ers apart. If it's a turnover, their speed gets them a layup. If it's in half court, they blow by one guy, another guy help, they swing it around, they get an easy shot. What Toronto is doing is drawing a double team. It's just off the bounce, Isaiah. If you're Philadelphia, you gotta pound it. And if you're Nick Nurse, you're saying, good, I'm not gonna get in foul trouble even with a Joel Embiid on the floor.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear what he has to say.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job, Doug, of just finding some things offensively. I think they feel really good down there. Again, I think we're generating, for the most part, really good shots, and you know, they should feel good about that. They're just kind of moving the pieces around, and you know, we've got a few little principles that we're trying to follow, and they're doing a good job of it. We're getting just enough, you know, transition bucket here or there, cut to the rim here or there, dump off here or there to get us at the rim enough as well. And I think the looks are still really good from the perimeter.
You talked about Precious being in the series after 2 games where he really wasn't. Can you speak to his emergence as like a big-time player in big moments?
Well, he's really playing well because he's obviously got a huge assignment for a lot of the game. I think it was a good combo tonight, though. Kem had a good 11, 12 minutes. Thad guarded Embiid for a good stretch, and then Precious, we were trying to kind of match his minutes there in the second half with Embiid once we got into the rotations. But yeah, he's made some really decisive offensive moves. Right, he's ran the floor, got a couple. Here he's cut in from underneath the basket, got some dump offs. He's made some nice tough drives too.
Specifically from Gary, I mean, there's times that he was on Harden, times where he was on Matisse specifically. What did you get from him? Kind of looked like sort of what we saw from Gary mid-season with his defense and active hands.
Yeah, he was again. I think he's probably finally 100%. So I think his energy and wind and all that stuff and his activity can improve for longer duration. Thought he did a good job of moving his feet tonight. And he did reach in there and knock a few away, just enough to kind of keep him off stride a bit. He didn't maybe steal those, but he'd bat away and they'd have to kind of reset everything and go pick it up again, and we could kind of settle in behind him on some of that stuff. But no, he was good. I thought he was really good offensively too. Made a couple tough shots there in the third when we kind of needed a little, ticking over offense, and obviously a couple big threes.
And a couple tough shots. Pascal also was able to make too, that he was kind of forced into but pulled through. What did you like in terms of the ways in which he was able to create?
Yeah, I just thought he was again composed. Right, he was taking his time when he needed to. He was finding people, especially late. He was really dumping the ball off great, down below and out, which is great that he's seeing kind of both